You've seen it happen. Your baby starts crying, and your cat walks over, leans in, and starts smelling them. Slowly, deliberately, like they're reading something you can't see. And your first instinct was probably to pull your cat away, or to watch nervously, not sure if what you were seeing was safe. Because nobody told you what that moment actually was. Nobody explained what your cat was doing, or why they chose that exact moment to do it. By the end of this video, you're going to understand that moment completely. And what you thought was strange or concerning is going to become one of the most remarkable things you've ever watched your cat do. Let's talk about where you've been. Because the fear that comes up when you see your cat near your crying baby is not irrational. You've been conditioned to be afraid of it. Well-meaning people in your life have probably told you to keep the cat away from the baby, especially during vulnerable moments, especially when the baby is upset and your attention is divided and everything feels harder to control. So when your cat walks toward your crying baby with that focused, deliberate energy, something in you tightens. You watch, you hover, you prepare to intervene, but here's what nobody tells you. What your cat is doing in that moment is not predatory. It is not territorial. It is not something to be afraid of. It is one of the most sophisticated and caring responses in their entire behavioral repertoire. And once you understand the science behind it, you will never see that moment the same way again. But first, why does your cat respond to the cry at all? Most animals, when exposed to the distress sounds of a being they haven't bonded with, show one of two responses. They ignore it or they move away from it. A sound that signals distress in an unfamiliar being is, at best, irrelevant. At worst, it is a threat signal worth avoiding. But your cat doesn't ignore your baby's cry, and they don't move away from it. They move toward it. That distinction matters more than almost anything else in this video. Research on feline responses to human infant vocalizations has shown that cats who have formed attachment bonds with their owners display measurably different behavioral responses to baby cries compared to cats without those bonds. Bonded cats orient toward the sound. They approach, they investigate. Their response is not avoidance, it is engagement. Your cat moving toward your crying baby is the first piece of evidence that something significant has already happened between them. A bond has already been formed, and that bond is driving your cat toward the sound instead of away from it. But here's what nobody explains about what happens next. Why does your cat smell your baby specifically when they're crying? The answer starts with understanding what crying does to a baby's body. When your baby cries, they are not just producing sound. Their entire physiology shifts. Their heart rate increases. Their breathing pattern changes. Their skin temperature rises slightly. Their body releases stress hormones that alter their scent in ways that are completely imperceptible to the human nose but are impossible for your cat to miss. Cats have an olfactory system estimated to be between 14 and 40 times more powerful than ours. They don't just smell what we smell. They smell layers of chemical information that we don't even know exist. And when your baby cries, that chemical information changes significantly. Your cat smelling your baby during a cry is not random curiosity. They are reading a biological report. They are gathering precise information about your baby's current physical and emotional state through the most sophisticated sensory tool they have. Every inhale is data. Every shift in scent tells them something new about what is happening inside your baby's body right now. And if this is already changing how you see that moment, hit like and subscribe. This is how we reach more moms who need to hear exactly this. But what are they actually looking for when they smell? This is where it gets remarkable. Cats use scent not just to gather information, but to assess safety. In feline social groups, scent is the primary language of belonging. Members of a bonded colony share a communal scent profile that identifies them to one another. When something disrupts that scent profile, it signals a change that needs to be understood. Your baby's scent changes when they cry, and your cat, who has been learning your baby's baseline scent since the day they came home, notices that change immediately. What they are doing when they lean in and smell is comparing. They are checking the current scent against the one they have stored. They are asking, in the only language available to them, is this the same baby I know? Is something different? Is something wrong? Research on olfactory assessment behavior in domestic cats has documented this comparative smelling pattern consistently in cats monitoring vulnerable members of their group. It is a checking behavior, a welfare assessment, the feline equivalent of leaning over a crib and making sure everything is okay. Your cat is not smelling your baby because they are curious or predatory or confused. They are smelling your baby because they are checking on them. Because somewhere in their wiring, your baby has become someone worth checking on. But why does the checking happen so consistently during the cry specifically? Because the cry is a trigger, not a threat trigger, a care trigger. Cats in bonded colonies respond to distress signals from their family members with a specific pattern of behavior that researchers call affiliative response. They move toward the distressed individual. They investigate. They make physical contact or stay in close proximity. They do not perform these behaviors for strangers. They perform them exclusively for the beings they have accepted as their own. Your baby crying is, to your cat's nervous system, a distress signal coming from a family member. And family members in distress get checked on. They get approached. They get the full attention of every sensory system your cat has available to them. A 2019 study from Oregon State University confirmed that cats form secure attachment bonds with their primary humans that mirror the attachment bonds seen between human infants and their caregivers. The researchers found that bonded cats show consistent orienting and approach behaviors in response to their owner's distress. Your baby, who has been living in your cat's home and sharing their space and their scent since birth, has earned that same category of response. The smell is not the strange part. The smell is the care. But what does your cat do with the information they gather? This is the part most people never get to see because they intervene too quickly. If you watch what happens after your cat finishes smelling your baby, you will notice something. They don't leave. A cat that smells something unfamiliar or threatening leaves. They process the information and they create distance. That is the instinctive response to something that signals danger or uncertainty. Distance is safety. But a cat that smells your crying baby and then stays, settles nearby, sometimes presses their body gently against yours while you soothe the baby, sometimes sits at the edge of the activity and watches until the crying stops. That cat has processed the information and decided that their place is here, present, close, available. Studies on feline proximity behavior during human distress events have found that bonded cats who approach during a distress episode are significantly more likely to remain in close proximity until the distress resolves compared to their baseline behavior during calm periods. They are not just checking and leaving. They are staying until things are okay again. Your cat smells your baby when they cry because they need to know what's happening. And then they stay because they have decided that whatever is happening, they are not going to be somewhere else while it does. But here's the deepest layer of all. Your cat smelling your baby in that moment is also about you. When your baby cries, you change too. Your cortisol rises. Your body language shifts. Your breathing pattern alters. Your cat, who has spent months or years learning the precise texture of your emotional baseline, registers every one of those changes in the same breath they use to check on your baby. They are not just assessing your baby, they are assessing the whole situation, the whole family, the whole unit that they have decided is theirs to monitor and care for. Your baby's distress and your response to it are, to your cat, a single event, and they approach it as a single event. Research on feline emotional attunement has shown that cats living in close bond with their owners develop a sophisticated sensitivity to their owner's emotional state that goes beyond simple behavioral cues. They respond to physiological changes, to scent shifts caused by stress hormones, to the micro changes in movement and energy that happen before a human has even consciously registered their own emotional state. When your cat leans in to smell your crying baby and then stays close while you hold them and soothe them, they are not just watching. They are present for both of you, monitoring both of you, staying close to both of you until the moment passes and the room goes quiet again and everything returns to the baseline they have memorized and love. That is not something a threat does. That is not something a risk does. That is something a family member does. And that is exactly what your cat has become. You have been watching something extraordinary happen in your home and interpreting it as something to manage, something to be cautious about, something that needed to be controlled or redirected. But what you have actually been watching is your cat doing one of the most sophisticated and loving things their biology allows. Reading your baby, checking on your baby, staying close to your baby and to you through every hard moment, every loud cry, every 3 a.m. that felt like it would never end. They didn't need to be taught how to do this. They didn't need your permission or your guidance. They saw someone they loved in distress, and they moved toward it every single time. That is who your cat is. That is who they have always been. And now you know exactly what they were doing. Drop a comment below and tell me, have you seen your cat do this? Did you pull them away before you understood what it meant? I read every single one. Every single